Immersed robot.
Hubris is a forthcoming VR action-adventure game from Cyborn, and it's coming out in 2022 for PSVR, SteamVR and on Oculus. Now, I believe that's just on the Oculus desktop platform, although I did read somewhere that I think it might be coming out on the Quest as well at some point, but we'll have to wait and see for more information on that. But from the trailer, it seems to be episodic as well, as it mentions part 1 is coming out in 2022, so presumably other parts will follow. But I was given access to an early demo of this, and the game caught my eye due to the science fiction narrative adventure aspects, but of course the graphics as well, which look fantastic from the trailer. And this footage that I'm showing here is me playing through the demo on my Valve Index, even though this is actually the Oculus Store version, so it works with Revive perfectly fine. There are no issues playing this through on my Index, I found anyway. And from the very beginning, it's a very polished game with a brief tutorial section. It utilises good VR mechanics, sort of free roam locomotion, over the shoulder inventory, quick switching of guns and equipment. And although I didn't find any options menu so far in this demo, I'm sure that will be coming in the full game, just to allow you to customise some of these settings a little bit, as well as of course changing some of the graphical options as well. But in this demo, you start off in a spaceship travelling towards a planet in search of a missing agent, and even in this early part of the game there are some very nice graphics, especially with the holographic NPC, and they're not quite up to sort of Lone Echo 2 levels perhaps, but it's still very realistic and it behaves naturally as well. And even your human accomplice on the mission is very well rendered with natural movement, and you know, the graphics look great and polished straight from the off. There was no glitching or anything like that I found anyway. Now, you don't have full body presence in the game, only your arms are rendered, and I did find the inverse kinematics were slightly off. The elbow joint didn't behave naturally as it does in some other games, and it just didn't feel quite natural to me. But it wasn't a huge issue to me playing the game or anything, but it's probably something that just needs a little bit of work really. And it's really when you get out onto the planet's surface that this game really starts to impress. The environmental graphics especially look incredible. The lighting and water effects and the clarity are really impressive, and probably rank alongside some of the best graphics in a VR game that I've seen so far. And the gameplay in the demo is actually quite slow, but it does seem that there will be more action in the game a little bit later on, judging by the trailer at least. So during this demo, it was sort of introducing a lot of the mechanics and some of the more lethargic, slow-moving enemies that you might come across. So this first demo section that I played through, it seems to be just easing you in slowly. And the swimming and climbing mechanics work really well. There are a couple of weapons that you can use as well. I did find the gun angle to be slightly off, but this was probably just because I was using Index controllers rather than the Oculus Touch controllers, which the game had implemented at this early stage. So it felt close enough anyway. It didn't cause me any problems, but it was just slightly, that angle was just very slightly off. Performance-wise, at this early stage, it did feel a little bit inconsistent in places. That first section in the spaceship was performing really well. I was running that at 120Hz in my Valve Index at 150% SteamVR super sampling, and there were no issues. I could tell it wasn't reprojecting or anything like that. But when you get out onto the planet's surface, that's the area where it starts to drop a few frames. I did drop it down to 90Hz in the Valve Index at that point, and some sections were still performing really well, while others were dropping frames or relying heavily on reprojection. And I was thinking of showing some on-screen numbers with FPS VR, but it really didn't seem fair to judge it based on that at this stage, and I'm sure they'll be optimizing this for performance as the game goes on and gets closer to release, so we'll judge it on performance once the game actually comes out. But at this point, it wasn't a major issue, but there were definitely sections of the game that were having performance issues. But overall, the demo is impressive for a linear, narrative-focused science fiction adventure. It does a lot of things well in terms of VR mechanics and how it feels, and hopefully they can add on to that with just a wide range of options for a number of people as well. So you can change graphical options and some comfort options in VR as well. Hopefully that comes in the full game. But the graphics and environmental design are among the highlights of this game so far. So I'll leave some gameplay running here for a few minutes just so you can get a good idea of what the game offers at this early stage. But that's pretty much it from me. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
I guess that terraformer over there is messing with the gravity. Probably one of its arms is underneath those rocks. Let's hope we're all off this planet before the terraformer is activated. A dead trooper. Hey, that trooper's gun over there could come in handy. I guess I don't have to tell you those bugs are deadly.